You should not hand someone, hey, I want to help you get in shape. You're going to listen to you're going to listen to that once. You're going to talk about how you can help them, but then you pull out a binder, right? Now this turns into a sort of a sleazy sales thing because they know that, oh, they're just trying to get me to buy something out of their book. Listen, here's the thing. One of the big things is when you pull out a binder, most people, including myself, when you pull out a binder, I really can't make a decision now until I see every single thing that you have in that binder.
You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at Lasso do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merritt.
Another episode of Gym Marketing Made Simple. I'm Sherman here with Blake as usual, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. It's going to be on sales. We're going to talk about some things that we're sort of seeing across the industry, so that we can help you guys close more leads. Whether you're running paid marketing with us or not, we want to see you be successful. So we're going to just jump right into it, guys. One of the big sayings that I've heard over the years that I like, helping someone sort of craft an offer or, deal with people when they come in the gym is, if you confuse, you lose, right? Now think about this. If you're going to buy something, whatever it is, and you talk to the salesperson and you're slightly confused about what exactly you're getting, what exactly are the terms, just imagine you're slightly confused. You're more likely than not going to hand over your debit card and tell this person, hey, I'm slightly confused, so just go ahead and charge me whatever you think, or just charge me whatever for what I'm doing. I don't know exactly what I'm getting, but I'm just going to give you my money. So it is of vital importance that we are crystal clear on our offerings and our options when we talk to people, right? And remember, when someone comes to you, you're the professional, right? You've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people reach their health and fitness goals. So you should be telling them what is the best option for them moving forward, not the other way around. So let's talk about having your offerings clear and concise, right? Not having too many options when someone comes in, right? I like to keep it very simple, right? At my gym, this is what we used to do. So when someone comes in, right, we're going to talk, we're going to listen, and the first thing we're going to do, we're going to offer them our premium service, right? And we're offering them our premium service because that's a service that I know is the best, right? That's a service that I can pretty much stand on and know that if they listen to what we say and they do what we tell them to do, they're going to get results. It's sort of foolproof, right? So at my gym, it was basically, hey, you come to personal training 3 times a week, plus customized nutrition. You'll meet with a nutrition coach weekly. The price for that is $1,300 a month. But that's the first thing I'm trying to get everyone that joins to start doing. Now, 90% of people, they're not going to want to pay, or they can't afford your premium option, but you should always start with that, right? Because that's the option that you can pretty much stand on. You're holding them totally accountable to their fitness. They're coming to the gym 3 days a week because they're meeting with you and or a coach, and what they're eating because they're meeting with the nutrition coach weekly or bi-weekly, however you guys set it up. You can pretty much guarantee results on that. I know plenty of gyms that actually offer a money back guarantee on that. They have to, make all of their personal training sessions. They must adhere to the nutrition plan. And if people do that for 3 months, guys, you can pretty much guarantee results. There's no way getting around it. So the first thing that we used to do, again, sell them that premium service, and then next we would drop down to our next sort of our main offering, which was CrossFit group classes plus nutrition, right? And those were the two options for anyone getting started, right? So when they came in, it was simple, it was clear, it was concise. Either you got to do this personal training or you're going to do this group option. That was it, right? Like nothing else. But what we're seeing a lot now is some of you guys are trying to basically make everyone happy, and you can't. We just had a call this morning where we were talking with someone, and we sort of noticed this. Blake, let's talk about sort of what we saw this morning and sort of the pitfalls that we see people making, so we can sort of dive a little bit deeper.
Yeah. So a girl that we talked to, new business owner, new gym owner, and she had somebody that she wanted to sign up. Like, this person was prepared to give her their credit card or give her their credit card. And then she's like, okay, are you looking to do month to month, or we have a year-long commitment, but you get a month free? And then the lady was pretty indecisive. And then all of a sudden she didn't know what she wanted to do. So actually she was going to leave and not buy anything. So if somebody's ready to buy, and granted, those are only two choices, but then she's like, well, with the year long, you can either get the first month free or you can divide it over 3 months. Like, now she's got 3 or 4 options. She doesn't know what to choose. And I related it to her, like, imagine you go in for a certain type of vehicle, right? Like, you're going for a Tesla Model Y, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, well, we got this Tesla Model Y, but we do have the X, and then we do have the Cybertruck, and we got the Model 3, and then all these stuff, right? And they're like, oh, I want to see them all. And now you're just confused, so you make no decision, right? When you give people too many options, they end up not making any decision at all. So you have to keep it simple. Are you looking to do month to month, or are you looking to do a 12-month commitment with a discount? Oh, I want to do a 12-month commitment. Okay. Now, from that, like, giving them all the options in the beginning are too much. Concise it down. Great. And then you should probably never give the first month free to anybody, because if you're ever going to do a special like that, and this is a different story for a different day, but we'll put this nugget in there. When somebody doesn't pay for something, they don't have value in it, because I'm not exchanging any currency for it. So I don't care. Like, nothing's coming out of my bank account. So if it was me, I would just be like, hey, we're going to divide those first, get some savings over the first 3 months. That one, if you do a 12-month commitment, you get a month free. We divide that over the first 3 months. Great. Get you signed up, right? Never give a month free out of the gate. Like, we ran a special before, even also, like, hey, sign up for a month free. The first 5 months you pay for, the last month you get free. Because if you don't pay for the first month, they're not going to work as hard. Well, I got nothing invested in this, right? There's nothing invested, so I don't lose anything. And so, and that's just a special by itself. But the whole point of this, like, podcast is to keep things simple. When you complicate your process, people end up, and you think you're giving them more options so it's better, you end up losing sales because the person just gets simply confused. And they don't understand. They get confused on what they even want to do, right? Like, the analogy of a car, like, I go in for a Grand Cherokee. Do you want to see the L? Do you want to see the Limited? Do you want to see all this? Like, all these different options. I end up buying nothing. Like, if they do their research and they're ready to buy, get their payment, and then move on. And then they can buy something like long-term later. But you need a commitment today, because, and Sherman will always say this, but it's so true. All of you gym owners know somebody's like, hey, I will contact you tomorrow and sign up. What do they do 90% of the time? I thought about it and insert excuse, because on the way home, they thought of every reason. Well, maybe I can just do this at home. Maybe I'll start working out outside. Maybe I'll start just eating better. And they think of everything that they should do, or every excuse why not to buy from your gym. And they end up doing nothing. You need to get a decision when they are standing in front of you so you can get payment. like 100%. Don't overcomplicate things. Like, stop having binders, for heaven's sake, or giving presentations. Like, man,
Blake's
like,
gonna get us in trouble. Listen, there's some people out there that adheres to this. You should not have a binder. We're gonna dive into this. We're just gonna do it. So you should not hand someone, hey, I want to help you get in shape. You're gonna listen to you're gonna listen to that once. You're gonna talk about how you can help them, but then you pull out a binder, right? Now this turns into sort of a sleazy sales thing because they know that, oh, they're just trying to get me to buy something out of their book. Listen, here's the thing. One of the big thing is when you pull out a binder, most people, including myself, if you pull out a binder, I really can't make a decision now until I see every single thing that you have in that binder. I need to see it all. And then when I do that, now I'm slightly confused. I have information overload. So my next move is to, man, all this looks good. Let's say everything looks good. I don't know exactly which one. Hey, Blake, let me go home and think about this and I'll get back with you tomorrow. And then we're back to that point of, these people have 500 reasons not to come back.
I got a really good analogy. I was thinking of this. Like, you ever watch those home shows where they people come in? Like, I was watching one on Netflix, and this can be a tangent, but where they have to choose between a wedding or a house. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have.
You have? Right. But here's the thing, right? And this is it's almost like the sales process of a gym. They sit down and say, what are the needs of your house? Right. And I always thought I would make an amazing real estate agent. What are you looking for? Right. I need this. I need my kids to play with this, blah. I need a backyard for my dog. Here's what they don't do. They don't show them 15 houses. They show them 3 all the time. One at the price point at a little above their budget, right? If they can stretch. One that's within their budget, and usually one that's a little bit below that does, so the other ones look a lot more valuable, right? And it's the same thing with a gym. Like, if I was a real estate agent, right, and meeting with a family, hey, what are you really looking for? I need a basement with my kids to play. Great. I would need a great outdoor space, and I need an office I need a space for my gym equipment to work out either in the garage or a separate space. I wouldn't show them anything that doesn't have those things, right? I would show them 3 options that include all of those, but they might get more and a little more. One might become with a bare minimums, and the other one kind of meets them perfectly where they are. And that's it, right? But when you guys sell stuff, you're like, hey, here's our PT with nutrition. Oh, by the way, we got a sauna and whatever else over there. And they just gets confusing. Like, sell to the person that's sitting in front of you. That's why a binder never works, or a presentation. Half the stuff that's in there isn't relative to what they're looking for. It's just like selling a home, right? Like, you're not going to sell somebody, if somebody's looking for a white home with black accents, you're not going to sell them a yellow one with blue. They don't care about that, right? So sell to the person that's sitting across from you. Don't sell to what your brand, okay, let's be honest, nobody has a brand, but what your gym does. And I think that's just the best analogy I can come up with.
Yeah, I believe that we started this whole, binder thing. I don't know where it came from, but, many coaches and owners, they're afraid of the no. So, I believe that we have gotten better as a community with sort of selling from the top down, offering the best of the best. But, when you have the binder, you need to be okay with people telling you no before you move on to the next thing. That's why I personally you have a sheet that has, say, all your personal training on there. That's the only thing you sell them until they tell you no. But you're going to hand them that sheet, let them look at it. This is what I recommend you do. And you sit there and you be quiet in the awkward
Can you imagine
silence.
going to the doctor and they hand out you a binder?
Yeah,
by the way, here's my problem. Here's your binder, right? No, they're like, hey, this is your diagnosis and this is the treatment plan going forward, right? Like, there's no binder. Or say you got surgery and let's just say it's even cosmetic, right? And they're going to be like, hey, this is the top level best that you can do, right? And if you say no, okay, well, here's another option. It's not going to be as great. You're not going to love it as much, but here's a more budget friendly option for you, right? and, and it's just I don't know why, because people don't think of like doctors as kind of like salesmen. I guess they just think of them as doctors, and you have to go there, but they don't realize they're actually still selling you stuff, and they're still like giving you a treatment and different things like that. But like I can't imagine walking into a physician's office and be like, I have X, Y, and Z's problem, and they're like, oh, here's a binder on the 3 different options for you. No, they're gonna be like, hey, here's the one that's going to best suit your needs. So
Yeah, no, I agree with that. If you're using a binder, I'm sorry. Like, this is just the way we feel about it. We've helped hundreds and hundreds of gyms with this, and we are totally against the binder. I feel that I believe that it just causes more confusion, right? Now, if you want to take your pages out of the binder and present one page at a time after they tell you no to a specific page, that's fine. But if you just pull out, I'm going to age myself here, you pull out a big fat trapper keeper with all that stuff in it, like, you don't know what a trapper keeper is?
no,
Come on,
we're
man.
the same age.
Nah,
What's a trapper keeper?
you had to have a trapper keeper to go to like grade school, bro. You put in all your paper in it. Google
Is that like a
trapper
black
keeper.
one? Trapper.
No, bro, they come in all different things. Trapper keeper notebook.
Oh, those things were awesome.
Correct. So like, but
I was
here's
actually
the thing,
Chipotle,
like,
and a guy was talking about this yesterday. He was telling his little brother. He was like, no, you got to have this like divider, and you got to have everything sorted so you're organized. Yeah, I remember those for sure.
yeah. So I mean, that's the thing though. Like, seriously, guys, if you pull that out, it's just gonna make most people gonna want to see every single thing that you offer, and then they're gonna have to think about it most of the time, right? So if you take nothing else from this, hey, like, present to them what you want them to do, one thing at a time, and let them tell you no to it. And then when they tell you no, then you have a different solution to their problem.
I think Truman, you got to go into when you should talk and when you shouldn't talk, and talking yourself out of a sale real quick.
Yeah. So over the years,
you're simple when somebody you ask a question and you keep talking.
Yeah, correct. So, this happens a lot of times with inexperienced salespeople, right? You've sort of done your job, and you then ask them a question, or you present the sale to them, and you get to that phase where it's silent. It's a little awkward. 5 seconds feels like 50 seconds. They're looking at the sheet. You know they're not uber comfortable with the price point. And you just don't sit there in that awkward silence. And then you jump up and you say, hey, if that's too much for you, I have another option for you, right? You must be okay with, once you present the option, the best option for them, once you present the best solution to their problem, you have to be okay with just sitting there in silence, and you let them tell you no, right? You guys will be surprised how many sales you will close if you just slow down a little bit. And again, this happens a lot of time with inexperienced / young salesmen, saleswomen, just because they're not used to sitting in that silence. So they just want to go, just hurry up and get this sale. But let people think about it, right? Like, really understand that for most people, if they're spending $300 to $1,200 a month, they're probably going to look at it and think about it at least for a little bit. Like, okay, I can afford this $1,200. Do I really want to do that? I have to commit to 3 months. That may take them 30 seconds. And you sitting there while they sort of work through that in their brain, that 30 seconds will feel like 30 minutes. But if you just jump up immediately, they're in the middle of a thought saying, I think I'm going to do this. Like, it's a little expensive. Then you jump up and say, hey, don't worry if that's too much. I have a cheaper option for you, only $175 per month. And they're like, okay, yeah, this is much better. I was going to do the $1,200, but they got a $175 option. You just talked yourself out of a sale, right? Over the years, this happened plenty of times. It happens sometimes with Lasso. It used to happen all the time at the gym. We'll talk to someone. I'll talk about how we're going to solve their problems. Let's just use the gym. I'm talking about how we're going to solve their problems. I make the recommendation. They say, yes, I'm ready to get going. I tell them the 3 times a week personal training, this is what it looks like. And they'll say, yes, I want to do it. I used to just get out the iPad and sign them up. And then before anyone hands you their credit card, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, well, I didn't even ask how much was it? Oh, okay. Then you tell them what it is. These people are already committed to it, right? But a lot of times we are so worried about the price that we talk about the price and overemphasize, sort of how expensive it is without saying it, right? Because here's the thing: if you sign someone up for something, if you let them know how you're going to solve all of their problems and they're ready to go, and they don't ask you about the price, they're not worried about the price. So you don't necessarily have to talk about the price. And I know that's a new one for a lot of you guys, but seriously, there's a lot of people that if they can have their problem solved, they're not really worried about how much it costs because they can afford for you to solve their problem, right? So make sure that you guys are, again, really focusing on the client and what they need. And if you do that, everything else is going to take care of itself long term, right? And eventually, we'll have to do another episode on objection handling because contrary to whatever people are going to tell you, just because someone has an objection does not mean that they're not ready to sign up, right? They're just unsure. They're just like, insert objection. Now, how are you going to handle that objection, right? Because again, this is a product that you're selling that is going to change their life if they really commit to it. So why wouldn't you push back a little more? Obviously, this person has a problem, so they came to you for the problem. And if you can solve it, why wouldn't you sort of push them a little bit to let them join your place so in 6 months, they'll be thanking you, for being a little pushy, as opposed to you just let them go. And then now it's another 4 months, they've gotten unhealthy, they haven't done anything. Then they go to the gym down the road that's not as good as you are, right? You've actually done that client or that potential client a disservice because you haven't locked in and really done your best to help them, right? So let's make sure that, guys, as we're going through this, as we're presenting the options to folks, that we're slowing down and really letting them make the best decision for them when it comes to joining your gym, right? I really think that will help a lot of you guys as you're moving forward. Just slow down a little bit. It's okay to sit in awkward silence. No problem at all. All right. Blake, you have anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No, man. I think keeping this a little shorter and getting to the point will really help people in just their sales process and something little they might be doing wrong that's going to have a big impact.
Okay, good. So guys, really, we gave you some practical tips, steps that you can make to get better at this. So let's take action. When you have success or you have more questions, reach out to us. We would love to help you, whether you're working with us or not. We want to see gym owners crush it. So guys, as usual, tell a friend to tune in, and we will chat with you guys next week. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoyed. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to lassoframework.com. That's LASSOFRAMEWORK.com and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.